Yo, 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 it's your boy Mo, Know Better, Do Better. We are here at the Sunday Sitdown segment of Know Better, Do Better, where we focus on, local things going on in the community and small businesses and everything surrounding the businesses in the neighborhood. So I'm here on location at Green Box Kitchen, which is located at 400 North Market Street in Wilmington. If you don't know what that is, that's it's the corner of Market and 4th Street. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. Beautiful place. And I'm here with Jason. So Jason, part owner?
Co-owner.
Co-owner. All right. Co-owner of Green Box is here to talk with me about everything Green Box. I don't want to give up too much. I'll let him tell you about Green Box himself. Jason, introduce yourself and introduce the Green Box to the folks.
Yeah. So my name is Jason Aviles. I'm one of the owners of Green Box Kitchen. Green Box Kitchen is a fast casual, 100% plant-based restaurant located right here in downtown Wilmington. That origins stem from a non-profit, Wilmington Green Box, that employs, educates, and trains at-risk teens from the local community while providing neighborhoods with direct access to fresh cold-pressed juices, produce, and other healthy goods.
Okay, good. That's what I love to hear, because we hear so many things about restaurants and them not really catering a healthy option.
Yeah.
So you being 100% plant-based is great, and I've been here quite a few times, and I'll put my stamp of approval on it. It's legit. The waffles.
Yes.
The waffles.
On point.
On point. I tell you, the first time I came, I got the oatmeal, and the oatmeal, I love the oatmeal. But when I came to get the oatmeal, the gentleman at the counter kept suggesting, get the waffle, get the waffle, get the waffle. So I finally came back, I got the waffle, and I was like, yeah, I should have got the waffle the first time. But it's just great to have, healthy eating options.
Absolutely.
Especially, you see so many diseases and ailments that can be, helped with just having better eating habits. So, and that's just great to hear. So you said this was something that was birthed from the Wilmington
Green Box. Yeah.
Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah. So about 4 years ago, me and my business partner John Naughton, we were sitting down at an art gallery space that we own called Artist Avenue Station, and we were brainstorming on the fact that it feels absolutely ridiculous to be in downtown Wilmington and for there not to be a grocery store. And I'm born and raised in the Bronx from New York City.
Okay.
And even in the hood, you had access to a corner store that had your milk, your eggs, your juices, your basics.
Right.
And for us to be located in downtown Wilmington, because at the time we both lived right here in the center of it all, and there not to be access to a grocery store was mind-boggling. So that was the first problem that we saw, was that there was no access. Mm-hmm. And it's even worse when you go into the communities. In fact, over 60% of Wilmington is categorized as a food desert, which means that you live more than 1.5 miles away from direct access to healthy, fresh foods. The second problem that we noticed was that a lot of the teens that lived in the actual communities didn't have employment opportunities, and not just regular standard hourly wage employment opportunities, but entrepreneurial employment opportunities. And it was a matter of looking at these two problems that we saw in our community and trying to find a creative solution for them both. And that was the birth of Wilmington Green Box.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean about you saying 60% of the neighborhood is a food desert. I'm new to Wilmington. I'm actually from the lower part of Delaware. So when I moved to Wilmington, got hit with a snowstorm, and I'm like, man, I got to go grab some things. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't necessarily like get in your car and drive type of situation, but I'm like, okay, well, there's a corner store up here. Let me see. And, you go in the corner stores and there's nothing.
Nah,
I mean,
nothing,
you got your sodas and you got your chips, but I'm like, man, I need some I need some like vegetables, I need some bread, I need
Yeah.
some milk,
Yeah.
eggs and things. And I'm like, man, they don't even have like like you said, the basics. And
Yeah.
I was just like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And I said that to myself. I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Yes.
And I've only been living here a couple of years. I'm like, I'm just imagining the folks that I see. They either don't have cars or transportation. They're really relying on these corner stores for survival, but they're not giving the folks nothing to thrive with. You know, and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And that's where we are even to this very day.
Yeah, absolutely.
The people that I know that live downtown do their grocery shopping at Walgreens.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they go buy their orange juice. That's where they go buy their eggs. That's where they go buy pretty much anything they need for their household.
Yep.
And when I got here, I didn't have a car either.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to rely on either carpooling or walking over the bridge to ShopRite.
Right.
And carrying my groceries back into downtown Wilmington. And I've been vegan for over 8 years. Okay. So my options are even more limited.
Exactly.
Even when it comes to the junk.
Right.
So me having access is absolutely vital. Absolutely. It's a key component to my entire lifestyle. Right. So when I started to see it and then realized that other people were experiencing the same thing, it was like, okay, we got to figure this out.
Right.
And I think that's very important, that not only do you have to feel inspired to want to create change, but you also have to see yourself being a part of the problem as well.
Absolutely.
And I took on that responsibility. You know, I felt like, hey, listen, if I'm not a part of the solution, I'm a part of the problem, because what's happening is affecting me. Yeah. Just like it's affecting everyone else. I'm not separate from it. I'm in it, experiencing the lack of access and what that does to my overall health and vitality. So we hit the ground running with a push cart that we found in an old Victorian home over West Side that was an ice box. And we put wheels on it and we colored it, and we used that to house the healthy goods that we were selling, and we employed one kid. And for that entire summer, we spent those months traveling on foot to just about every neighborhood we possibly could reach, bringing them direct access to fresh fruits and vegetables, fruit salads, cold pressed juices, everything plant-based, everything healthy.
That's dope. That is dope. Because I mean, I you know, not being from Wilmington, I heard of the Wilmington Green Box. Yeah. Now I really know what's it about. Absolutely. I know the origin. Yes. Now the Green Box Kitchen makes so much more sense. Absolutely. It's like evolution.
Exactly.
It's like
exactly.
Evolution.
You know, people come in here, right, and they'll ask, you know, how did this all come about? You know, the only reason why Green Box Kitchen exists is because the people that we invested in when we started Wilmington Green Box demanded that we created a space and an outlet for them to have that much more access to healthier foods. The people wanted this here. We didn't want to do it. I've never started a restaurant before. I've heard all of the horror stories.
I was gonna say, it can be scary.
Yes, especially in Wilmington. Doing business in Wilmington is quite unique. It's not like doing business anywhere else that I've been. So the odds were against us. Yeah. But what really helped drive this thing home was the fact that the people were like, we're gonna support. Like, if you bring this here, we got you. And that's what we kept in mind during the entire process of bringing this concept to life. And we have people that come through our doors that came to our push cart 4 years ago that are now buying waffles and grain bowls and smoothies and sea moss, and it started with the education, access, and awareness 4 years ago. And now, full circle, we're seeing all types of people come through our doors, and it's a blessing, man.
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
It's an absolute blessing.
Because not only are you achieving something business-wise, but you're really doing something for the people. Like,
absolutely.
You know, like like, you know, I don't know exactly how you feel, but it's like if this didn't make $1 for you, I think you would still feel fulfilled knowing you're giving people the option of eating healthy.
Yeah.
You know, like vegan in the city isn't an option for a lot of people, or it wasn't an option. It's like, vegan, what's that?
Yeah.
You know, and then like I said, you know, you go to the store, it's nothing vegan in there besides potato chips, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, you can't eat that. You can't survive off of that. So, you know, it's just, I think this is a very, very like heartwarming story. I didn't even expect to get the story I just got. I just, you know, asked the basic question. You gave it to me, and you know, I see big things, bigger things. We talk about evolution. I see another one coming. You see another one coming?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
We're not gonna get too far into that, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think evolution is a good word to use. And you know, this was completely designed and built from the ground up, from people that live in this community, from people that care about people that live in this community. And I think it's important for us to model that, because sometimes we feel like success is out of reach or out of touch.
Exactly.
When in fact there are amazing people that are living in this community, really doing transformative things. And I think it's important that not only do we model that, but when we do have the opportunity, it's important that we're approachable. It's important that we're responsible. And it's important that we raise the standard. You know, we set the bar higher. And we took that into account when we designed this space. You know, we were like, it has to feel good. It has to look good. It has to be welcoming. It has to be filled with positive vibes and good energy, because all that plays a huge factor in how the people feel when they come through your door and what their experience is through their senses.
Absolutely.
And we took all that into account. And you know, even right now to date, we are 5 stars, knock on wood, on every platform that there is.
That's good to hear. That's great.
Every social media, Yelp, Google, Facebook, and the number one thing that we hear is that the energy is on point, the people are welcoming, and the food is good.
Yeah. Everybody, look, when I come in, everybody's nice, everybody has a smile, you're greeted, and like you said, you walk in, you just feel the good energy.
That's important.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially, you know, you come in early in the morning, you're on your way to work, last thing you want to do is go to work, you kind of come in ho-hum, and everybody's like, hey, good morning, how you doing? Welcome to Greenbox. Man, you got to get a waffle. And I'm like, man, they just knock all the dust off of you and just like freshen you up for the day. So it's good, man. I mean, it's really good. I was kind of pushed in your direction by some of the folks at West Side Groves. Shout out to Sarah.
She
Gabby.
came in today.
Did she?
Sarah came in today. That's the strangest thing. She's always on her bike. She pulled up and grabbed a bowl, and she was sitting down with an officer that she brought and had lunch with. And that's another thing too. In Wilmington, when you're a part of that network and you finally get connected, you really start to see how many influential people there are. Just doing amazing things. Who actually care.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, people that are in your corner fighting for you.
Who have good intentions.
Exactly.
Because sometimes the narrative is the complete opposite, which I'm not going to ignore and say it doesn't exist. But in respect to that, there's an equal amount of people on the ground.
They have your best interest at hand, really. They really shout out to Sarah, because she was like, you know, you been to Greenbox? Because she's a foodie like me, and not to get too far off the topic, but we talk about stuff in restaurants. And she's like, you been to Greenbox? I'm like, yeah, I've been to Greenbox. She's like, you know, Jason's pretty cool, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be talking to him pretty soon. She's like, you got to get over there, like get over there.
That's what's up.
So, like I said, it's just good to know that people are talking well about you. They're recommending you. And like you said, once you get into the networking phase of things, it's a tight-knit community that really want to see, everybody wants to see each other win in that aspect. So that's great. You are now listening to the Know Better Do Better podcast. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Know Better Do Better podcast, Facebook at Know Better Do Better podcast, Twitter at No Podcast Crew, and on YouTube at Know Better Do Better podcast. tell us about the green box. Like, tell us what you have to offer. Say nobody's, person's listening, never been to green box. They're thinking about coming in.
Yeah.
What can they expect when they walk into green box?
Yeah. So we designed a menu that could be for just about anyone. And that was hard to do. For one, this entire restaurant is only 800 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
So when we started to draw up the plans, people were telling us that we're freaking crazy for even thinking that we can fit a restaurant concept in 800 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
But we were really crafty with how we did it. We got really creative. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that's special about our restaurant is that we are a scratch kitchen, which means that everything is made from scratch, from whole ingredients, for the most part, every single day. And the reason why is because we literally don't have the refrigeration space,
You don't have the space
or the dry storage space to store all the stuff that can sit on our shelves for God knows how long. So it worked in the customer's favor.
I was gonna say it's a win-win for the customers. You guys sacrifice probably a bigger spot somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now you're kind of forced to do everything 100% fresh.
Yeah.
Which the customer receives wholeheartedly. So
yes,
hey man, it works. It works.
So when we were coming up with the menu, there were three things that we wanted to touch on. For one, the portions had to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it had to taste absolutely delicious, which is important because sometimes vegan restaurants take the approach of, oh, we're vegan first, then the food comes second. Yeah. And our approach was, no, the food comes first, and it just so happens that it's vegan exactly. And it's plant-based. Because if it's a damn good waffle, it's a damn good waffle. Yeah. Whether it's made from chickpeas or it's made from dairy, if it's good, you're gonna eat it, and you're gonna enjoy it.
Exactly.
And then the third thing was the price point. Finding a price point that could be approachable, mm-hmm. and that could reflect not only the fact that we're using whole, natural, non-processed ingredients, but that you're going to get a good amount of food for your money.
Right.
And because of those ingredients being whole ingredients, you're gonna feel entirely different mm-hmm. when you eat a meal from us compared to getting a number 2 or a number 3 from McDonald's, which is full of tons of processing,
yes.
tons of fillers, tons of artificial ingredients that's mm-hmm. just made to kind of fluff things up mm-hmm. so it can look a certain way, but when your body digests it, it has an entirely different experience. So we have everything on our menu from cinnamon raisin bagels that you can get toasted with vegan cream cheese and organic jam, to Belgian waffles with blueberries, strawberries, vegan butter, and organic gravy maple syrup, to black rice bowls topped with avocado, cucumbers, tomatoes, carrots, and a house-made green goddess dressing that's from cilantro, green onion, avocado, and other spices. So we have a menu that can pretty much satisfy any taste bud,
mm-hmm.
any mood, any time of the day.
Right.
And the feedback thus far has been that it works, that it's working.
Now, I was here last time. They always referring something to. Every time I come, they were like, "Have you tried this? Have you tried this?" So I got the waffle. Now, as I was walking out the door, I was told by not one of your guys, but an actual customer. As I was leaving, I got to get the PB&J toast.
Oh, crazy! PB&J toast is nuts. Like, it's and you can get it on a cinnamon raisin bagel, or you can get it on 2 pieces of toasted healthy grain bread, and it's topped with organic peanut butter, organic jam, sliced bananas, local granola, and drizzle agave, and it's a treat, man. It's absolutely delicious. It's wholesome. It'll get you full. We binge on a lot of these menu items early on, like the PB&J toast, the avocado toast, the superfruit bowls, the acai bowls, the pitaya bowls, the waffles. Everything is really cultivated with intention, mm-hmm. with care and with respect to the fact that this thing has to taste good. It has to be good.
I mean, at the end of the day, you're a restaurant, so your food has to be good.
Yes.
You want people to come back. So
yes.
That's top things. Like you said, it has to taste good. Then it happens to be vegan.
Yeah.
Because I'm not vegan. I know you've been vegan. I'm not vegan, but I'll eat anything as long as it tastes good. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
So
that's great.
So tell us about the process, more on the business aspect. You said, Wilmington's a tricky city to work with when it comes to starting a business.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you realized, or some of the, I don't want to say pitfalls, but some of the obstacles that you had to overcome to make it happen?
Yeah, I think one of the facts that we have to realize about Wilmington is that it's a growing city.
Mm-hmm.
The space that Greenbox Kitchen resides in was vacant for 10 years.
Ooh.
That shows you how much room there is for development.
Yeah.
If we wouldn't have brought this concept to the table, this space and the surrounding 3 other spaces would probably still be vacant.
Yeah.
And that's really a sign that, for one, you can look at that as, wow, Wilmington has nothing. There's nothing to do. It's missing what Philly has. It's missing what New York has. It's missing what DC has. Or you can look at it through the lens of that void, that problem is an opportunity.
Yes.
And I really think that when you're doing business here in Delaware, that has to be at the forefront of your awareness. Otherwise, you're gonna be upset that it's not New York, it's not Philly, it's not DC. You're not gonna get that foot traffic. You're not gonna get you're not perhaps gonna get that diversity. You may not experience that culture, that overall energy. So when you do business here, you have to understand that you have to bring that. Like, you have to attract that. It may not necessarily be here when you start.
Right.
And we're not naive to that. Right. So when we got into business, we understood that those were some of the things that we were up against. And we didn't allow that to unmotivate us. Instead, we used that as fuel to continue to motivate us, to continue to inspire us to, in fact, bring things that we know this city needs that doesn't already exist.
Right.
And that has to be the mindset. Like, that's how you have to go into doing business here. If all you're thinking about when you're doing business here is what it's not and what it can be, it'll drive you to the point where that becomes all you focus on. And it's not the fact that there's opportunity. And for me, it was a no-brainer. Like, when I saw development projects happening on 8th and Shipley, worth $77 million, and I see another $100 million being thrown on 10th and Market, and I see another $15 million coming down the pipeline from 9th Street.
I mean, guys, if you don't know the areas he's talking about, I mean, they're literally like right up the street. So,
they're right here.
So, they're right here.
So even on the basic principle of following the money, if you see all this amount of money being dumped in investment and development, you know that the people know that are putting that money up, that eventually they're looking for a return. So at some point, in order to protect their return, they're gonna build around what they're investing in. And that's just development strategy, and we can call that gentrification. We can call that what we choose to. But what I like about Wilmington that's different from Harlem and Brooklyn and even parts of DC is that you can still get into the market. It's still open for the average person to take part in investing and developing and growing. And we're an example of that. Like, we don't have a shit ton of money. We bootstrapped and nickel and dimed our way to bringing this to life. And we took advantage of some of the grants, and we looked into opportunities that can help us, assist us in different ways. And here we are. So it's real.
Now, I'm glad you said that. You just kind of segued for me. Like you said, you bootstrapped. if you, what were some of the programs and grants or, type of, situations you can get into to somebody, kind of help get you jump started as far as getting the business process? I know I've been to a few launcher programs that West End does, and I know there's some other things going on, around the city. But what worked for you, or who did you reach out to kind of get some guidance?
We went through. Now the name is called True Access Capital, and they had a loan program, a grant program, and it was a matching grant. So they can only cover up to 1/3 of your entire cost, and whatever you put up, as long as it doesn't exceed that 1/3, they'll match it.
Cool.
So it was a matching grant. So for an example, let's say the project costs $90,000, right? And we put up $30,000, they would match that $30,000 with another $30,000, and then we would have to come up with the remaining $30,000. So technically, you get 1/3 of your overall costs paid for through a grant that you don't have to pay back, as long as you do what it is you say you want to do.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, and I think this is important to mention. At first, when I got into this world, I didn't know that these resources existed.
And that's the reason I ask, because I know there's dreamers out there may feel defeated, or they might feel like they just can't get their ideas off the ground because they don't know these options are available. They don't know there's people in their corner that really are waiting for you to walk through their door so they can help you. So I'm kind of like, let's put this on a platform, let's talk about it, and keep them inspired to keep moving.
So and it's two ways you can take that. Like, for us, we took that ignorance as an opportunity to be informed. So we went looking for it. We went to every meeting. We went to every informational session. We started searching for the opportunity. And what I see a lot of people do is they'll say, hey, like, we don't know about the resources that exist. And I get that, even perhaps by design. The reason why the resources don't land on your front step is because perhaps they're designated, or they may even be marketed to a particular demographic.
Right.
But what do you do about that?
Exactly.
Right? And you can complain about the problem, and you can be very well right at what the problem is. But you have to do something about it in order to prove your situation. And we've always taken that approach. We've always looked at situations where we didn't know or we didn't have enough as an opportunity to hustle our way to finding it and gaining access. And the first time around, we applied for this grant, I think it was a year or two ago, we got denied. And it was because we never filled out a grant. We didn't know how to go about the grant writing process. We didn't know how to answer those questions or how to submit the data that they were looking for. Right. So again, it was another opportunity to not be discouraged, but to learn and continue to improve. And we kept at it, and when it came to Green Box Kitchen, we got it. So it really is about how you choose to react to situations and circumstances that really determines what's on the other side of that. Like, a lot of it is really up to you.
Cool. I just want to get that information out. For anybody that's listening, because I know they're probably like, oh yeah, the food's cool, this, that, and the other, but how did you get, so I just wanted to clear that up. So don't be discouraged. You're gonna everybody takes the lumps. I always say everybody takes the lumps. Don't go back in the corner and cry about it. It's just a learning experience. So what's in the future for Green Box Kitchen?
I think what's in the future is us continuing to have this as our flagship. Like, this will forever be our firstborn. But I think down the line, we're definitely going to duplicate the model and continue to expand, because the problem that we see here in downtown Wilmington is the same problem that people are seeing in Baltimore and in Virginia and in parts of Maryland and in parts parts of New York and in parts of Jersey. It's a global issue. So I think this is the beginning of really understanding the restaurant industry, solidifying our processes and our systems, really getting our team where they need to be, where they feel confident and strong and executing at our standard, and then taking all of this that we develop and finding ways to replicate it and continue to give more and more people access to what we have to offer. I think that's what's in the future.
That's dope. Tell the folks where they can find you.
Yes.
We're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Because I think we covered it all.
Absolutely.
We covered the beginning. We covered the restaurant. We covered the business, the community, and what you got coming forward. Hope nothing but the best for you guys, because you got a good product, you got a good space, you got great people working with you and for you. Just tell the folks where they can find you, and so they can walk in and get that energy that I get when I come in.
Yes. So Green Box Kitchen is located at 400 North Market Street, right on the corner of 4th and Market Street, about a block down from the Queen. We're a bright red building sitting directly on the corner. You can't miss us. You can find us on Instagram at Green Box Kitchen. You can find us on Facebook at Green Box Kitchen. You can find us online at greenboxkitchen.com. You can always order online and pay for whatever it is you want in advance and pick it up at whatever time you choose. You can call in advance and ask us any questions about any menu items and place your order over the phone. We're really here, we're really accessible, we're really approachable, and our goal is to serve you excellence and to have you leave here feeling better than when you got here.
Well, thanks again, Jason.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
And once again, that's the Sunday Sit Down. Know better, do better. Leave with love. Peace.